Welcome to Mastering the Sweeps, a Nueva Voz trading series. Here we apply the Lighthouse strategy, a disciplined approach to observing liquidity, structure, and probability in the market. Remember, your job is not just to find trades, your job is to observe the market until it reveals one. Welcome back. This is video 15. Incredible. Oh my goodness. I started this because I needed a digital library of all of my trading, just my charts, just ideas, and now I've created so far 15 videos. And if you've been following along, I hope that you have been enjoying. I hope that you most definitely has been transforming into your best trader self. You know, my key is to make sure these videos are no longer than 20 minutes. So we're just going to go ahead and dive in. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so before we even start the lesson, you must know the sequence. We find liquidity first, then after liquidity is located, we're looking for a strong displacement, not a weak. And if you don't know the difference, go back and watch the video. Then we find the change of direction. This gives us the confirmation that we need that the market has control of whatever side that we're looking for. If we are looking for a buy side, we're looking for more bullish candles, which are the green candles. If we're looking to sell, we're looking for the bearish candles, which are the red candles. Okay, and after that, we wanted to return to the entry that we had evidence, okay, because we don't predict, we had evidence that it may return back to. And I say may because no one knows what the market would do. No one. Okay. And then lastly, the BOS. We love the BOS. That's the break of structure. That is when it makes a lower low or a higher high. Basically, in simpler terms, it's going in the direction that we want the market to go into. Okay. All right. So, most traders lose because they try to predict the market before they fully understand what price is communicating. They see one candle move, one break, one reaction, and immediately assume they know where price is going. But the market usually tells the truth first. And you just have to learn how to follow that sequence. You know your sequence. Okay, we just went over the sequence. But here's the promise. By the end of this lesson, if you stay with me, you're going to understand how to stop reacting emotionally to random movement and start following the full market sequence step by step. And one thing that I love is that I am a visual learner. So I put 5 images that will help your brain, not only because one, you hear me speaking, so you get the auditory, you see the words, so that's also some visual support, but I also give you the experience in the chart too. So, over these last few weeks, we have been building the system layer by layer. First, the liquidity. Second, the displacement. Then, change direction. And then last week was all about internal versus external structure. So now today, we are combining everything together to create one full narrative. A narrative is a story. Okay, we're bringing everything together. So here's the truth. One of the biggest mindset shift in trading, and I had to learn this myself, the market usually reveals intention before the actual entry appears. That's why you hear like vocabulary like, oh, the institutional people do this, or this is smart money. This is what they're talking about. Okay? So the problem is most traders are reacting too fast to notice. So here, we take our time, we wait, we observe. We're like surgeons in this market. Okay? We don't rush through it. We allow it to come to us. This is why the sequence matters more than prediction. Because if you think of prediction in money, you think of gambling, okay? Because when you gamble, like most likely you're at a casino or whatever, and you just think of a number and you place your money in that number. Like, oh, I hope. We don't use hope here. We use data, we use evidence, and we collect information to make or help make decisions. And again, instead of guessing where price is going, we observe what price is already communicating. That's the key. Okay, here we go. So, the full sequence. Here's the full sequence. You will see liquidity, displacement, change of direction. When you see this CHoD is change of direction. Some people I also put this here because some people refer to change or this CHoD as change of character. It means the same thing, okay? And then we're looking for the OB. Your OB is where your price, where basically where you want your entry. And then your BOS is your continuation, like I told you before. We love a BOS, especially if it's going in our direction. Okay, so we're about to see this story about price and how often it follows before larger movement happen. So take a screenshot so you know the sequence, especially if you're new. Okay, so let's look at it. It may look like a lot, but again, we have videos that break it down layer by layer. Go watch it, or just follow. Honestly, first follow along. I promise you, you will understand. But if you want to go even deeper, go back to my previous videos. Okay, so here's your sequence again. We're looking for liquidity, the sweep. Well, basically they're the same. Liquidity sweep, displacement, return, then entry. So this is what institutions think. They look at this area. I marked it for you, the little arch with the arrow. This is your liquidity sweep. They think, oh, okay, this is a liquidity sweep. But for a retail trader, basically like a baby trader who just started learning how to do this, or have been in the game for a little while and they still have not developed their discipline yet. They're thinking, oh, wait, this is like a breakout. I'm just going to hurry up and enter because maybe, it will go in the direction that it was showing me here. Maybe it will continue going higher. But no, it actually returned. It actually had a displacement. Okay, so let me show you the parts. So my arch is always the liquidity sweep. Every time you see an arch, it's the same color, same, pretty much almost the same size. Always liquidity sweep. When you see my boxes, a displacement. What makes a displacement, Kelsey? I'm glad that I asked. So a displacement happens right after the liquidity sweep. How do I know it's a liquidity sweep? Because we had equal touches here, okay? Until it finally broke out and went higher than what the previous highs were, okay? So here, we had a longer wick, and then the market decided to aggressively or strongly sell. This is your displacement. You see that most of the market had a strong intent to sell. No, the buyers really couldn't stop it. They tried here, but it kept on selling. That's a displacement. Okay. Then, what's our next one? Change of direction. How do I know it's a change of direction, Kelsey? Because here, okay, if you're still new, you will basically call this line the support and this line as resistance. Okay, but we're moving away from those retail language. I'm teaching you institution language. Okay, so you see that the market went here and then it bounced up and then it came back, but then it retraced back, came back again, and it retraced back. So as you can see, the market could not break past this sell side liquidity until this displacement happened. So you had a displacement, change direction, because this candle, this long candle here, was the candle that finally broke out of this sell side liquidity line. Okay, so the only thing we need now is it to return to my entry. My entry is here, and I'm going to tell you how I found my entries. So basically, my entry is always the last opposite candle of whatever the displacement is. In this example, we have sellers. So what's the opposite color? You see it's all red, so it will be the blue, the last blue candle. So I made my box. As you can see, it returned back. So after price returned to the entry zone to sell, I know all 4 of my steps have been completed. So this is a valid entry. Whether it still hit stop loss or whether it goes in my direction to earn money, this is a valid trade. So regardless of what happens, I know I did everything that I was supposed to do. Okay, make sure you screenshot that so that you can use this whenever you go to the market. This is like your model, not for you to find the chart exactly like this, because here's the thing, the market never really gives you the same exact pattern. It will look different, but when you are able to identify what is a liquidity sweep, a displacement, change of direction, and your OB, which is your entry, you will see the sequence, not the pattern, the sequence. Okay, so first we identified the higher time frame narrative. Where is the liquidity? What direction is price moving? And what story is the market already telling us? I'm gonna go back one more time so you can see that real quick. We did find where the liquidity was. We saw what direction price is moving, how this displacement showed me the intent, where they actually wanted to go. And then now we're collecting the story that the market is telling us. What the story that the market will most likely will like to sell. Okay. So now here is going deeper with the higher time frame. This is what we learned last week. So if you need a deeper lesson than what I'm about to give you, make sure you watch video 14. Okay, so here is the sweep. You already know whenever you see this little arch, that is your liquidity. That is the sweep. Okay. And then you know that's your first step. Then the sequence continues. There's your displacement after that sweep. And then now we're going to refine the movement using the internal structure. Okay. So, one more time for my people who do not. This is the same images that I have for my last video. Okay, so what makes it different is that one, the higher time frame was this hour. We looked at the areas, which was the premium and the discount areas. How did we find it? We found the major high and the major low. We know that we're looking for sells here in this area and then buys in this area. But if it's in the mid-range, it's more consolidating. You can see the arrows too. But when I go to a lower time frame like the 15-minute, you see more structure. You starting to see more of the break of structures, the change of directions, the liquidity sweeps on a smaller time frame. And that's where I usually trade. And then just one important thing to remember, internal movements does not automatically change the higher time frame narrative. Internal structure, which is like the 15-minute and below, only helps you refine the move, like your entry. It does not replace the external story, because this is the true movements. Okay, these are just smaller movements within the bigger movement. So, now the full sequence. You know, first liquidity gets taken, then displacement appears, then change of direction forms. Then you look for your entry after you're in the market. Another confirmation is your BOS, which is your break of structure. Okay, so here's another chance where you can take a picture of the sequence. And here is the last model, because you know what's next, your practice. I got everything you need, your 3 steps that you're looking for when you are practicing. I have the sequence for you. Okay, I have what not to look for, because most people don't tell you what not to do. They only tell you what to do or try to give you signals. No, we filter. Okay, and then here's your final filter. And this is what you're basically looking for when you are in the chart. Alright, so this is the framework that we're learning. And we just repeat it over and over. Alright, so now your practice. Okay, here's your challenge. Do not rush. Do not predict emotionally. Pause the chart. Observe the sequence. Identify the structure. And then ask yourself, what is the market trying to communicate? Okay, go ahead and screenshot. I'll give you a few more seconds. All right. Okay, so remember, guys, the goal is not to become emotional about movement. The goal is to become structured in observation, because the market often tells the truth before the entry appears. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please comment below. If you learned anything today, please also comment below. And if you just want to give me some tips about making this even better, comment below, because I am looking and I love when you guys participate. So I hope that at least you got one thing you can take with you and apply that could change how you trade. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.